everyone, and thank you for checking out this video. Just a little disclaimer as you listen to the ocean waves that we will be discussing budget-friendly diamond painting shops and legally licensed artwork. If this is a topic that you feel particularly passionate about and may be triggered by strong opinions, I ask that you either not watch or go into this video with the following mantra. We all have our own opinions. This isn't personal, and Anthony loves me. This isn't personal. Anthony loves me. This isn't personal. Anthony loves me. Hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, evening, whatever you got going on. Or if you're watching this just a few minutes after it goes up, thank you so much for watching. I am actually in the midst of this project already. As you can see, we've got a kitting up going on here. This is Bumble Bee from Distracted by Diamonds and Jazmin Castillo. This is a round drill canvas with 24 colors. It's got 2 ABs built into it, and then I'm adding a couple of different things. So I actually started filming this, or I've been attempting to film this for the past, about 20 minutes or so. But between me still kind of having some phlegminess and Apollo being, I don't know what's gotten into him today, but he's like the guy from The Shining. Like he is like he's just relentless today. I can't sit down for a second. And I'm like, you know what? He needs to learn to like self-soothe. We already went on a long walk. It's super hot out, so there's not really much more I can do because I don't want to overexert him. I literally have like the door slightly propped open with the gate so he can see me, because if I shut the door fully, he'll wig out and start pawing at the door so he can see me. And so he goes through moments of going to play with his toys, and then he'll come back and like try to like bust the door down, and I'm like, Apollo, like he's just hitting. I think it's because it's just hot and he's probably uncomfortable. So as soon as I'm done filming this, we're gonna blast the AC. I'm gonna mist him down. But as you can tell, like I'm still, even 2 weeks or a week and a half. No, it's almost been 2 weeks since like I've been working through that cold. I've still got a little stuff going on that just keeps coming up and like leaving me with kind of a froggy voice. And then let's not even talk about the eye, but we'll give me just a minute. We're going to get into all that. And then I have a topic of discussion that I wanted to bring up today. But let's talk about what we have here. So like I said, this is Bumble Bee, Jazmin Castillo, Distracted by Diamonds, 24 colors, 2 ABs. I finished Cauldron of Myrrh over the weekend, and so I was able to get that put up, and then I actually got a decent amount done on the Moon Thief. And so I was able to condense some containers down and leave me with 2 of these 60 sets. I don't think I'm going to need both of them for this kit with only the 24 colors. This is a 50 by 64 round drill canvas, but I have them if I need them. I've got my sticker sheets here. I've got my funnel here, my pen, my scissors, and then I've got the washi tape that I picked out. I think this came from Diamond Art Club, just these little blue hearts. There's a heart in this image and there's lots of blues, so I thought that would match well. And then I've got my specialty enhancement drills kind of scattered around. We'll talk about those as we get to them. Oh, and then if I do have an epic spill, I've got my Mooney Made tray here. This is a custom tray. I just asked her to pick some of her favorite colors or just do a color combo that she likes. So I got this kind of turquoisey green with this silvery blue stopper. So there's those. And as you can see, I'm already 4 colors into this because like I said, I've been trying to record this. And I basically was just getting like so frustrated with stopping and starting and like coughing or like kind of like clearing my throat. And I'm like, oh, that sounds gross. So you're gonna have to bear with me if I do have to clear my throat now and again, like that, for instance. But to be in all honesty, for those of you that are okay hearing this, it's like the last remnants of like, it's some nasty stuff. It's like, I'll just use the word dense. And it just like, it takes a while to get it out. And it's just like, oh my goodness. So we're already 4 colors in, and you'll see that the 4th color is still in its bag, and yet here I have some. So I'm actually replacing this kind of lavender 210 with this diamond dots. It's a little bit lighter. I think they call this their pink. Apollo, come on, man. He's literally like staring at me like, if once I get to you, I'm gonna bite you. So I've got that here and this here. So I'm just gonna do a swap out. I don't think it's that huge of a color difference, and I think it'll look just fine. But I wanted to put a little bit of extra pizzazz to this canvas. This is actually a gift for my mom. So like I said, it already came with 2, but we're adding 2 more plus a metallic. So I'm gonna put the ABs right in here. I have the diamond dots container here. So what I'm gonna do while I'm working this is I'm gonna match the color or the sticker on this. So I can throw this in my storage box and not worry about like, which shade was it? So now I know when I go to kit this down that these 2 are the same. So that's gonna go here. And then this is gonna go in the storage container, the little zippered or mesh little area. That way, if I do need them, fine, for whatever reason, I'll have them. Otherwise, they're just gonna get kitted down right into a long-term storage, drill storage. So I'm gonna set those aside. And we're just gonna keep rolling through. We're moving right into our next AB that I have. This is a bright yellow AB that I had when I did my rubber ducky. I don't have enough, I think, to replace both of these bags, but I do wanna alternate one regular, one AB. I think that's probably about half-ish. So what we're gonna do there is, and I've shown this before, I think in a kitting up, I'm sure. We're gonna do this here and this. And I don't mind having these half full containers because I think I'm gonna have plenty extra. So I'm not really trying to like condense these down right now. However, if I like work up another kit and want to free up another, a bigger set, then I might condense some of these so I'm not as generous with my spacing. So here's my 2 regular 5s, and those are going to be reds. Okay, so let's get into it. So, I also have this container of sparklers here that I did. There's some rounds and some special drills in here. I was gifted a special drill canvas that I did, and I decided to save some of these. I already used some of them in Yellow Frida, but I might throw a couple of them in here. But it's actually kind of my topic of discussion once we get past life stuff. I want to talk a little bit about, we'll get to it. So here we're gonna do 5, 5, and then I'm gonna do 5, A, B. That way I know when I get to the 5s, which are these J's, to get 2 trays out, do some regulars, do some ABs, and alternate. Boom, boom, boom. So that's kind of how I've been doing it. I could also see myself doing like rows, like AB, regular, AB, regular. I might do that depending on how fancy I decide to get. I was also thinking of maybe just doing these stars that are around in yellow, do those in ABs, and then do the B in regular. I haven't quite decided. I'll figure it out as I go. So we'll do the regulars first. So quick life stuff before we get into kind of the topic of discussion today. And I'm actually trying to move fast too, because this is like half the size of a normal kit that I work on. So I'm like, I'm gonna kit this up too fast. I won't have enough time to chat. If you remember from my last kit up in chat, which I believe was the Moon Thief, I had talked about, I'm gonna go on this camping trip and yada, yada, yada this weekend. It's gonna be so much fun. Well, that Tuesday, my eyelid or my eye started to hurt a little bit. I was like, what is going on? And I couldn't quite pinpoint like where the pain was, the soreness was coming from. It was just kind of like general eye area. And so that kind of happened on Tuesday. I was like, I'm sure Apollo just like scratched me or something happened, you know? And then the next day it looked a little bit red and I was like, oh my gosh, he really scratched me, like, geez Louise. And so kind of kept an eye on it. And then by the end of the day on Wednesday, it was starting to get like a little puffy and inflamed. And so my current employer has a clinic on site. And so I called them because I was working from home that day. I called them and was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just noticing some like puffiness and irritation around my eye. And they're like, okay, well, do a cold compress, keep an eye on it. If it gets any worse or it doesn't improve by the morning, just come into the clinic. And I was supposed to work, no, I was supposed to be in the office that day anyway. So I was like, okay, perfect. I'll just go in the morning if it's still acting up. But I figured it was just a scratch or something that was maybe just like, I don't know what, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. So that morning I woke up and it was super inflamed and like my lower eyelid was kind of like almost filled with like liquid. And I'm so sorry if this grosses you out, but we're talking about life stuff. It was just not pretty and I haven't really ever experienced anything like that before. So I was like, we need to go in. So I went into the clinic and they took one look at it. And keep in mind, they're like a nurse's staff and they do have a doctor that comes in a few days a week, but most of the time it's just like a nurse on staff. So it's kind of a clinic. They can do shots and stuff, but I guess I could have put those all in one container. But they can't do like, they can't really diagnose things that could potentially be more serious. You know, they're like bumps and bruises kind of people, you know? And she's like, this could be I think she said cellulitis or something. She's like, I don't want to just send you out if you're with a prescription for antibiotics and it's something more serious than that. Even though it was only in the one eye. And so she was like, I would suggest you go to urgent care. So that's Thursday. So I went to urgent care on Thursday morning. And the first urgent care, which just kind of gives you a hint as to how my day went. The first urgent care I went to, they're like, well, we don't really see a sty. So we can't really tell what this is. Like it could just be, you know, like it looks like it might just be an allergic reaction to something, or it's just inflamed from like a scratch or a scrape, but once again, couldn't really see anything with the naked eye. And they're like, we think this is an allergic reaction. Let's keep an eye on it for a day. And if it doesn't get better, you know, or if it gets worse, let us know. Whoopsie, I must have put one of these tops on the wrong top. Yeah. If it doesn't get better, let us know. And so I was like, okay, that's not exactly what I was hoping to hear, but understood. So I think this is, it gets kind of tough when you have like two different size containers. There we go. Okay, so they sent me on my way with a prescription for Zyrtec and like these regular old like redness eye drops, like clear eyes. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna go to get a prescription filled for, like, I just went to Target and got the stuff. Like it literally on the prescription, it said Zyrtec and like the, whatever the technical name is for clear eyes, you know? So I just went and got the stuff and, did the eye drops, did the Zyrtec, like they basically were like, go home and take an allergy pill about it. And so by that evening, because granted this was like at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I told my boss, was like, look, like they think it's something more serious. I've got to go to urgent care. And she's like, no problem. I was like, as soon as I get this figured out, I'll finish my day from home. So get home, work a full day. By that night or that evening, my eye was like maybe triple in size as far as swollenness. It wasn't completely swollen shut. It was all in the bottom eyelid, so it wasn't like swollen shut because my upper eyelid was totally fine. It just looked like I had like a sack like of just like under my eye. It was so gross. And it was starting to look bruised because it was so like stretched out. So I called that same urgent care back, but of course it was a different doctor by this time of night, you know, shift change and all that. And because this was around like 8 o'clock at night, and they were like, well, since the last doctor didn't suspect it was an infection, it's not like we're gonna suddenly say it is. So I would just suggest taking a Benadryl and maybe that'll get the swelling down. And I was like, something's wrong here. Like, it shouldn't be like blowing up like this. Like, you're telling me we're at Benadryl stage? Like, it's massive and it's painful. And I was tearing up so much, and then like the tears were starting to kind of dry and get sticky, so it was like kind of gunky too. I was like, this isn't Benadryl status, you know, like we're past that. So she was like, well, I think you just need to go to the ER then. Like, she was just giving, like, they were just giving me like a lot of attitude. And it was the doctor on staff. It wasn't like a nurse or anything, but it was almost like, well, if the other doctor said this, then I'm not going to say anything different. And it's like, things can escalate, you know. 2, 4, 6, 7. It was just very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because I don't know like what they identify as or anything like that. I mean, I don't know over the phone, so I try not to gender people if I don't know. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, and that's 6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. So I called the same company, the same healthcare clinic, but a different location 10 minutes away. It's actually closer to me. That other one was just on the way home from work. So I called them up and spoke to their nurse, and they were like, yeah, you sound like you're past the point of Benadryl. How about you just come here? I was like, am I going to get charged twice for like 2 visits in one day? And they were like, just come in, we'll get it all straightened out. And I was like, okay. So I drive to the other one, and the doctor there, who I assume identifies as female, I'm not sure. And once again, now I'm trying to like backpedal because I don't want anyone thinking like, oh, Anthony was upset because a female doctor, like that's not what I meant at all. They were like, yeah, this is an infection. I'm like, I think I could tell that, you know, at this point. She's like, okay. So, or they were like, okay, so we're going to prescribe you a topical antibiotic. If that doesn't help within the next like 48 to 72 hours, call us back. We'll get you on an oral, but the orals are a little bit stronger. They didn't like to put, people on the orals if they don't have to. And so I got that, and then another eye drop that was like an antihistamine, redness reduction, like swelling, pain reduction eye drop. So I got all that stuff. Went and there's only one pharmacy, and keep in mind we're like pushing 10 p.m., 10:30 at night at this point. One pharmacy in the Denver area that's open 24 hours. And the guy was so nice, like most chillest pharmacist. Cause I was like, I came in there, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I'm coming in here in the middle of the night. He's like, no problem. It's fine. So number 7. So I got squared away, and, long story long, after applying that every 4 hours over the weekend, it started to really come down. And as the swelling came down, the sty appeared. There's like this little nobule like right on my eyelid that was kind of just like, it was just too inflamed to really notice it. But now that the inflammation's come down, you can see exactly where it is. So I've just got to kind of let it run its course. But during all this, so that was, on Thursday night, and then Friday, I was warm compressing it and trying to keep it closed as much as possible, but I still worked a full day. And then my buddies were like, all right, we're getting ready to go camping. And I'm like, yeah, spent the evening in urgent care trying to deal with this eye infection thing, and I have to keep it washed and sterile and reapply this ointment every 4 hours. That's not going to work for me going up and being in a tent all weekend. So they were kind of bummed, but I guess it was a little bit cold up there and they had a run-in with a yellow jackets nest at the campsite. So I'm kind of glad I didn't go. So I spent the weekend hanging out with Apollo, going on a lot of walks, and just kind of like putting a compress on my eye is kind of how I spent my weekend. But it's gotten a lot better. And I got a lot of diamond painting done. That's how I was able to finish Cauldron of Myrrh. So no camping trip, unfortunately, but I did get a really, really cute shot of Apollo. There's a lake down the street from us. And I was like, Apollo, it's golden hour. Let's go on a walk. So I took him out and we went for like, it's probably like a 3-mile walk. It's a pretty large, there's like a nature preserve over there. I know I dropped one of those, but I'm not going to fuss about it. There's a nature preserve over there, so we got to go walk around that, and then I got this shot of him and I was like, dang. So I'll share that at the very end if I remember. Okay, so that kind of puts us up till now. So I'm recovering from that. It's the swelling's, I'd say give another day and it'll be gone, but that sty is still there. I don't know if that's supposed to clear up on its own or if it'll like do something gross. I don't even really want to think about it. I'm just letting it run its course. I'm not going to fuss with it unless I might do some research online and see if I'm supposed to fuss with it. But I'm just putting the ointment on there every 4 hours until this coming Friday. It's a week-long treatment. And then I'm continuing to use that antihistamine, redness, pain stuff. And then Advil had been hurting for the soreness, but that's kind of gone away. It got so bad that the soreness was starting to spread to like my cheek and my forehead. Like it was like that whole side of my face was starting to like throb. So I just can't believe that other location was like, sorry, take a Benadryl and good luck with your infection. You know, see ya. It's just like, you can't do that to people. So I had a nice conversation with the second location, so I won't be paying for that first visit. So yeah, I came in there, I was like, here's my wristband from 6 hours ago. And they're like, okay, well, take a look at these papers. I'm like, well, here's all the papers that they printed out for me. Do you need to print them again? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. I'm not kidding when I said I was just here, but down the street. So they had a little bit of sympathy for me because I was like, what? Do you really think a Benadryl is going to get this to go away? So, okay, so here's number 10. It was this kind of like lighter silver or gray. I'm going to replace that with silver metallics. So I don't know exactly where those are placed. I didn't really look at that. I just said, oh, that's close enough. So we're going to do my Diamond Dots silver metallics for that gray. Okay. Guess I don't need all of them. Okay, cool. Perfect. So same thing as last time. I'm going to go ahead and just mark this as such, as if it is that one. And then whatever I don't use will go back into here. And the actual drills will just get kitted down into my long-term storage when we're all done. Okay, and I think that's all of the enhancements that I've added. I just added those 3. All that's left is the ABs that came in it. So that's what's going on in my life. That's kind of life update. Still just recouping. I feel like October is going to be my month of like just repairing. I can say though that my energy levels were so much higher than they have been over the past few weeks today. I don't know, like maybe that cold or flu was just like building up over time, and maybe I just was like didn't have a lot of symptoms until it really hit me, but all of this congestion and stuff is just kind of the buildup from a longer time actually being ill, like because just was low energy for a while and fatigued for a while. And I don't know what it is, but like last night and this morning, I was like, I feel like I've got my like mojo back energy wise, even though I'm still hacking up stuff. Like, the thing that is like my bellwether of like whether or not I'm feeling good is if I'm singing in the car, because I sing in the car all the time, pretty much anytime I'm in the car. I'm like at least gonna belt out a couple songs, you know, and I'll even like have a YouTube video playing. But like if I'm at work, like today I was leaving work and I had who was I listening to? Oh, I was listening to Susie, and I was walking to my car, had Susie in my ear, and then I got in the car. I was like, I'm gonna put her back on in a second. I just want to do 2 songs. Like I almost treat it like I'm in my own like car karaoke. Like just let me do 2 songs. So I did Sia and Sunday Morning by No Doubt. And those are like, that No Doubt song and then any Sia song. Those are usually like, if I'm feeling it, like I can get those songs going. And I was able to get those songs going. I was like, I haven't been in the mood to like try those because I would just start coughing or like just didn't have the energy for like big songs, big car songs. Didn't have the energy for them for a while, but I'm back, baby. I was like, I want to go to karaoke again. Like I'm back. I'm feeling good, you know? But I just have this gross eye and a bunch of phlegm that I'm still working through. So that's fun. So yeah, so the car was like, I'm back into my groove. So I'm feeling pretty good. As far as diamond paintings go, like I said, I'm doing this because I finished Cauldron of Myrrh and a good portion of Moon Thief. So I have the space to work this up. And it's going to move pretty quickly, I'm thinking. It's pretty color blocky. There's a lot of color blocking here, and it's round, and it's a relatively small size for me, like a 50-something by 60-something. That's pretty small. So I think I can get this done. If I was to work on it by itself, I could get it done in a week, I'm sure. But I am going to continue to work on Moon Thief. It's just going to be a round party and as far as my whips go, because that's for an event. That's for Derek with Diamonds event. So I do want to get that done. And it's moving really fast too. So I'm hoping I can get both of these done by the end of October. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty confident that I can do that. So yeah, both kits done by the end of October, and then I will have November and December to finish Where the Fun Never Ends is one that I'd like to get done. And then the last gift kit that I have for right now that I wanted to get done soon is for my aunt. So now I've done kits for one uncle, one aunt, this one's for my mom, and then my other aunt who lives in Phoenix. She picked out a kit, and I'll have to squeeze in a impromptu unboxing because she was just out here last week and picked it out. But it's called, I don't know, it's a Christmas kit by somebody, Abraham Hunter, I think. In one of my videos, I thought it was a Chuck Pinson. It's not, but it's of the same ilk. I forget what it's called. It's like Cozy Evening or something like that. It's like a wintry scene with like wreaths, and I think there's horses. Of course she picked that one. It's not really my jam, but I'm gonna do it for her. But I'm thinking, since that is a Christmas kit, I can use it for some holiday events. I know Derek with Diamonds is gonna have a holiday event. I'm gonna see if there's any others. So I'm like, that might be perfect for a November 1st start. So I might be moving and grooving in the right direction here, be able to do some events and get a gift kit done. So if I can get Where the Fun Never Ends and that kit done by Christmas, then I will have completed all the gifts I wanted to get done, and that will be amazing. So, okay, so we've got 5 of these, and we're doing red. Do we have any partial reds? 5. Yeah, we don't. So let's just do this. So that's where I'm at with kits. And so we're already at 13, and that'll give me, why did I write 5? Oh, because I have 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just take a quick break to check on Apollo and make sure he isn't trying to like dig a hole through the wall to get to me, because he was, I don't know, maybe it was, we spent all weekend together. I don't know if he was just feeling separation anxiety, but we went for that walk, we played as much as possible. Like I said, it is really hot today, but he was just like not having it. Like I tried to sit down and he was like, no, come back over here with me. So let me see where he is, because he's been quiet. 1 second. Okay, he seems to be fine. He's such a sweetheart. I love him so much. Yeah, I was like, okay, we're okay. He was sitting on my bed and he just kind of looked at me and he's panting because it's hot. I'm like, you're okay. I was like, I think we both just needed to calm down. So I gave him his bone and I spread a little, they have like a dog specific peanut butter. I don't know why you'd need a dog specific one, but they do have it. And so I spread it on his bone. And so he was just like, this will do. This is a good peace offering. I think this was this 13. Okay, so since we are like 10 away from finishing this kit, we're moving quick. I want to talk about kind of like, obviously I wanted to do this, this kitting up, but there was a topic that came to mind today after watching Susie's car vlog from today that I was like, you know what? It's something that I've been wanting to talk about or like broach the subject on my channel, but I try to keep it light. And not that this isn't light, but I typically don't like dive into these topics, but I do want to start bringing up some of this stuff, because one of the things that I wanted to do with my channel is be kind of I'm a newbie at diamond painting, and you know, this is what I've learned thus far, or even for like people that may be thinking about, I wouldn't mind doing a channel or a Facebook group or contributing more, but I need to learn the ropes. You know, I was in that same boat. So just like some things that I've learned along the way that I would have found to be helpful. And it's something that I have mentioned in one form or fashion on my channel before, but I think it was pretty much towards the beginning. But I kind of wanted to, you know, just talk about my thoughts on this particular topic. And the reason those crystals reminded me, or like were kind of a prompt to do it, as well as Susie's video, because she was just like very unabashed about what she had to say. And I was like, she is so like, I'm so glad we found each other, because she is just like, no nonsense. This is how it is. This is how I feel about it. And there you go, you know, no hate, but this is how I feel. And I love that. And sometimes I wish I had a little bit more of that. So those crystals brought it up because those were sent to me as a gift, like a live drawing that I was a part of. And it was like an Amazon kit of a Mandela diamond painting. I think it was like a 30 by 30 or maybe even smaller special drill partial. And I did not mention it. I thanked the person, but I did not mention it on my channel. I did not show it on any sort of whip-in chat or unboxing or anything like that, because I couldn't, for a fact, you know, verify that that image was not stolen in one way or another. And so I've made a commitment on my channel to not display images that I can't 100% confirm have not been pulled from the internet some way, somehow. That wasn't always the case. When I first started diamond painting, I didn't know anything about like image copyright or like, I'm not in the artistic world. I just thought that you could pull something off of online, and as long as you weren't personally making money off of it, like whoop-de-doo, you know, who cares? But I never really thought about the people on the other side of that. Like, you know, you like an image, you print the image. That's just how I've always done things, you know, and you just look for the ones that don't have Shutterstock or like watermarks on them, you know, and those must be the free ones, right? So let's see, 14, and that's gonna be green. Let's see, I've got one here and a couple here. That'll work. So when I first started diamond painting, one of the first companies that I shopped from, because it was like, once the algorithm catches on that you've been searching diamond painting, they're throwing that paint with diamonds ad at you right away. I feel like everybody's story from like COVID on was like paint with diamonds. I saw it on Facebook, paint with diamonds, and that's totally what happened to me. My first kit was an Amazon kit that my boss at the time had worked on, and so she sent, I was like, that's a really cool image. She's like, I get all mine off of Amazon. And so that's what I did. I was like $8.99. It was like a 40 by something round drill canvas, just this blurry rendering of what was supposed to be like a fantasy forest or something. It looked nothing like that unless you stood like 100 feet away. Then it kind of came together. But me being extra, I kind of fell in love with the process. I found it very therapeutic and relaxing. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people really enjoy the budget paintings, because for so many people, it's not necessarily about like, look at how crisp this rendering is, and look at how, you know, look at these drills don't have any this or that. And it could be that, but there's a lot of people that like that stuff, but they also like to just sit down for an hour or two and get a finish out of it and feel that sense of accomplishment and that soothing. And I don't begrudge anybody for that. In fact, you know, once I started getting into the world of like Distracted by Diamonds and Diamond Painting Deutschland and all that stuff, it's not like I went to my boss and was like, throw out all that stolen Disney stuff that's all over your office. You know, you need to be doing this, this, and this. I just brought in a finish, and she was like, what the heck? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of went a little nuts. And she's like, where do you even get that? And that's how I kind of introduced her to Diamond Art Club, and I bought her first Diamond Art Club. So that's kind of how that went. But she still was doing, you know, the stuff that she'd pick up on Amazon, because for her, it was more about passing some time and doing some anxiety relief while her husband, who was a police officer, worked his third shift. So she's there at, you know, 1 a.m. wondering if he's safe and he's okay. And that's how she got through those times. So who am I to go up to her and be like, the only way that you can do that is if you're, you know, spending 6 times as much on licensed artwork. I'm not going to hold it against her, but I'm going to spend my money where I think it supports the artist, which or supports artists, which is something I take almost as much value in now as the act itself. You know, I would hate if I was on Paint with Diamonds or any other site that kind of flies by the seat of their pants when it comes to licensing, and be posting on Instagram of an image that I just thought was really nice, and come to find out it's, you know, it's an artist's work, and they see it, like it would be embarrassing. I would have to pull that content down. I'd have to pull those videos down. It would be a waste of my time. You know, so I'd rather just save myself the grief, and I'd rather support those artists than risk hurting them. And I'm not going to know every single artist. Like a lot of people say, just go through and verify, and there's these websites, or there's like, none of that's going to be 100% foolproof. There could be an artist that is just starting out or doesn't really have a ton of social media presence that you'll never know that you know, stole their artwork because they were on, you know, this obscure blog site or, you know, whatever. And you'll never, ever know because they're just not that visible and they're not popping up in a lot of searches. So I personally have just decided to play it safe and not buy anything if the artist is not listed on that post. If it doesn't say buy or copyright, then I'm moving on, and that's just me. So yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that didn't start that way. I started by stealing artwork, and, you know, I'm not ashamed of it, but people learn and they can change and they can grow and they can be better. And I don't think hearing people be advocates for only purchasing licensed artwork are necessarily getting on a soapbox about it. I think they're just passionate about supporting their fellow creators and fellow artists. So, and yeah, if someone is like, oh, well, you have to get rid of all those. Absolutely not. I don't think so. Like I have one more sitting in the back of my closet, and it's this giant, like 60 by, oh my God, I think it's 60 by 180. It's like the size of like a twin flat sheet. It's huge, and it's the free one I got from Paint with Diamonds that I didn't throw away. I kept the canvas, and I was like, maybe I'll keep the canvas and do my best to try to confirm if it's stolen or not, and then maybe have Jade from Jaded Gem Shop like source the diamonds for me, and I'll just work on it in the background, and I just won't show it. I'll just do it in private because it's a huge canvas, and it's this gorgeous like forest landscape scene. And it was the free one that I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's the free one that I got with the 2 customs that I ordered for Paint with Diamonds that did go in the trash, because those were well, one of them was my own image that I took myself. The other one was definitely stolen artwork because my buddy pulled the image off the internet for me to do. But the drills were just popping. It was garbage. I threw them away. Let's see, 17 red. Let's see, I guess, are we really starting another new sheet? Okay. So that's the only one that I have, and I'm like, if I decide to do it, I'm just not going to show it. But part of me is like, you got it for free. It's your last one that you have questions about. Just move on, just get rid of it. But it feels so bad taking like a brand new, rolled up, keep in mind also another knock towards it, it's double-sided adhesive, and I had a rough time with that. And just tossing it in the garbage. Whoops. I just don't know if I'm ready to do that. And part of me wants to delete those videos, the unboxing that I did and the kitting up that I did, but also it's kind of like tells a story of my evolution of like understanding how to do this craft in a way that is respectful to the work that people put into it from all aspects, you know? I almost think of it like, what if I hung up one of my diamond paintings when I was done and someone came in and was just like, thank you, mine. I'm like, wait, I worked on that. No, I'm taking this, you know? That's kind of what I equate it to. So, and once again, this is all just how I feel, but I understand why people feel differently, and people feel a little bit more comfortable if they believe that they're using stock images or, you know, what have you. There is a certain amount of like, you just kind of have to like, you know, put your hand over your eyes a little bit and just keep walking through the checkout, I think, in a lot of those situations. But I'm not going to persecute or like chastise anyone. So many of my favorite content creators, like the majority of what they do is specials and do unboxings of specials. And I love seeing their excitement around those products and how many they're able to get done. Like, and I just like watching that content, and I want to support those content creators. So, and these are the same people that still do Diamond Art Club. They still have a massive stash of DIY Moonshop. And for me, that doesn't necessarily justify it, but I'm saying these people still make purchases from like those traditional or, you know, non-budget sites. So I don't know. It's a hard topic to discuss, which is, I think, why I've avoided it for so long. But I know how I feel, and it's not going to change how I feel about any content creators or anything like that. And I would never shove that like licensed artwork only mindset onto anyone. Do what you got to do. Afford what you can afford. But just keep in mind that there could be somebody somewhere that put some hard work into that image and they're not seeing anything for it. And so they decide to quit the craft and go back to their 9-to-5 because they just can't make it happen. And meanwhile, a company is like $6.99, blah, 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 you know, like just be aware of that, you know? And if you can sleep at night, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. That's just, I'm going to do it how I like to do it. And I am not here to judge anybody else. I am not the licensed police. So, but I just wanted to get that out there because Susie had some comments on it as well that I agreed with a lot of what she had to say, but I personally don't feel, I haven't personally felt like anyone has sent the message of like, take all those unlicensed images and take them out back and burn them. Like, I just haven't really gotten that vibe from anyone, but maybe someone is out there with that mindset. I just haven't really seen it. And I can stand up and say that I ripped an image, or a friend ripped an image off the internet, texted it to me, and I turned it into Paint with Diamonds. So like, yikes. I don't know. Like I said, I like watching a lot of it. And I like watching a lot of people like, I forget her name, but she does, we're like at our last two and I'm just stretching. I forget her name, but she does a ton of specials. It's her and her mom, a ton of specials. And, but then she kits down all of her round and square drills like very meticulously, and it's fascinating to watch. But then she uses those drills to do other kits like blank canvases. I think she's worked on a couple Heaven and Earth designs, and I'm like, God, I wish I hadn't invested so deeply in the storage kit that I have set up that kind of limits how many drills I can hold. Because, oh man, that would be so cool to do an entire painting just off of excess drills. Like, I didn't even think about that. So I find her videos fascinating, and it's all specials, all smaller kits, pretty much the majority of the time. She's a very budget-centric creator, and I love it. So I kind of play both sides. Like, for me, it's just not where I'm at and what I like to do with diamond painting, but I absolutely understand and respect how or why other people decide to do it. So I hope that makes sense. But I do feel pretty strongly about, like, I don't know. I hope I didn't offend anybody by saying I don't like special drills or like smaller kits. So I hope that doesn't upset anybody. I'm sure, oh my gosh, I already can think of a couple people that might be like, interesting, you know? But I love you. I love you. I just like what I like. And you like what you like. So I don't know, maybe someday I will dive into the world of budget canvases if I can. Like, what would have to happen is the company would have to prove to me somehow, some way, that is a stock image. Like, I don't know how exactly they go about it, but it wouldn't be from me searching sites because that can be a little unreliable. I would have to get it from the horse's mouth in an email. And as a matter of fact, a budget company did reach out to me. They do watch my videos. I haven't responded because of my feelings. And I just didn't know how to approach it. I'm going to have to write that email before this gets posted. But my thought would be absolutely, as long as you can provide proof that the images that you carry on your website are not taken from, or, you know, are all either stock or you paid, you know, you have a contract with those artists. But from what I understand from that particular seller, I don't think that's the case, but I'm going to have to let them tell me. I'm going to have to just reach out to them. 23. But yeah, I don't know. There are some companies that are kind of in the budget realm that, from what I understand, are all licensed. There's this company that I've seen pop up and I'm hearing some scuttlebutt about, and it's called The One with the Diamond Art. I know Diamond Painting with the Besties has done an unboxing from them, and I know that Punks and Crafts has also done one, but I don't know if I've seen anybody do a whip and chat with one of those kits or do a finish to talk about drill quality. I know that Knox over at Punks and Crafts had a little bit of an issue with the rendering coloring being a little bit too dark for them. But then the company resent it with an updated rendering and it looked better, but I haven't seen like drill quality, any popping drills, what that finish looks like yet. So I'm still a little hesitant, but those prices are like, they're pushing budget prices, to be honest, at least in my eyes. I mean, you're talking some of those kits are sub $20, you know, in the 20 to, you know, I'd say $18 to $40 range for licensed kits that are a pretty good size. And I think they do special drills too. So I feel like maybe some companies are finding ways to kind of get that price a little bit closer to is reasonable for a larger range. As long as we can keep doing that, while still supporting the people that are creating the image in the first place. And I really am sorry if I did offend you, but it's a topic that I think is important to discuss for newbies. You know, if you're new to the diamond painting world, this is definitely something, you know, if you have been purchasing from your Amazons or your AliExpresses because you just want to try out the craft, I get that. That's where I started, you know. But as you you know, learn to love these artworks and you start to find artists that you really are drawn to, you'll start to develop a respect for the work that gets put into these canvases. And at least for me, I start to feel responsible for contributing back to them, if that makes sense. You know, I didn't really care about artwork necessarily that much. I was not an art fan until I started diamond painting, and now I have my favorite artists because you develop a connection when you're placing all these drills and building an image. You start to build a connection with the artwork and the person behind it. At least I do. And then I feel obligated and beholden to support them because, you know, even in addition to purchasing this kit, I like to sometimes find that artist on Etsy if I can, if I've got some extra money here or there, and purchase a sticker set or a print or a pin or something like that, just to, once again, just kind of like, you know, show them that the diamond painting community is here to support them, and they should continue to work with some of these companies like Distracted by Diamond. So I don't know. I think it would hurt me if I found out that something like that was happening with my artwork, and I just wouldn't want to do that to somebody else. So, okay. All right. That's it. I'm sure I need to stop because I'm sure I'm just continuing to upset people. So I'm going to let you go. This wasn't intended to be a negative video at all. It was just, it's a topic that I think is worth discussing, and I wanted to kind of provide my thoughts on it. And I wanted to make a promise to, you know, all of my viewers that do care about that stuff, that you will only see licensed artwork on my channel here on out, forever and ever, as long as I'm doing diamond painting. And let me know your thoughts, obviously, on this. Specifically, let me know how you feel about like retroactively removing like unlicensed images from your channel. Was that something that you would do? Is that something that you would ask a creator to do? Because I have some Paint with Diamonds videos. If you scroll way back to when I started a few months ago, or back in May, I think one of my videos or a couple of my videos were an unboxing of a galaxy painting from Paint with Diamonds. That is an image that was ripped from the internet. I tried to do a reverse image search, but I couldn't find it. But my buddy was able to pull that image really easily when he Google searched. So I don't know. And if you can find it, let me know. And then there's also a kitting up of that same image. I don't think the image is in the video because it was double-sided adhesive, so it's that white paper on top. So I don't think you can see it during the kitting up. I don't remember. But those two videos, and then that was it. I started working on it, and I was like, oh, these drills suck. Oh, this canvas is terrible. Ooh, this is stolen artwork, or stolen image. Ooh, I'm gonna throw this away. So that's kind of where it ended. But yeah, I just, I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents. I hope that's appropriate. I hope that's okay. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of this content. Otherwise, happy placing. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching again. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.